sounds really bad, but I've got no time for victim mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You've got one shot at life, go and do something with it. Life is hard, life is stressful, so many people constantly live in a state of depleted dopamine from lack of sleep, not moving enough, stressful jobs, stressful careers. So people are dopamine seeking more than ever. As you're trying to fit a square into a circle, it's never gonna work.
It's not going to happen.
When you've got like an eating disorder, obviously everyone's looking at you going, oh my God, you're so unwell, let's get you help, let's get you support. Like, it's negative feedback. No one's like really positively reinforcing it. When it's with bodybuilding and you're going and doing a photo shoot and you've got a six pack, everyone's like, oh my God, you look amazing. So it was like every time I was dieting down, I was getting positive reinforcement. So actually it was a trap, because every time I was doing that, not only was it making the relationship with food worse, I was getting positive reinforcement.
Hello and welcome back. We have Lucy in the studio today, who is the ADHD fitness coach and working around mental health, body image and people's relationship with food.
Yep.
How are you doing, Lucy? What's going on?
I am super good. We've been having a very British chat, haven't we, about the weather? As we do.
Absolutely.
It's the first thing we say, oh, lovely weather. It's the icebreaker, but it has been absolutely wonderful, hasn't it?
Honestly, it's nice to get out of the rain a little bit. My
Just a
God,
little bit.
it's been horrendous the last couple of weeks, hasn't
Depressing.
it?
Absolutely depressing.
Grey skies don't make life easy.
It doesn't, but I feel like a new woman these last 2 days, so I'm ready for this. I feel just excited about everything. It just makes such a big difference to everything.
I love it. Where I want to start is, how did you get into the space of being the ADHD fitness coach,
Yeah.
mindset, body image? How did that all come about?
I love how you're calling it the ADHD fitness coach as well. It's making my head bigger, like the
What?
one
Absolutely.
and only. I mean, do we go right back to the start of my journey? How far back are we going here?
Let's go all the way back.
All the way back. Okay, well, a lot of people who get into fitness coaching have like really sporty backgrounds. That wasn't me. Like, growing up, I was into performing arts, so I did musical theatre as a kid, but I was never the best. But I enjoyed dance. I enjoyed keeping fit. I enjoyed keeping active. I really, really, really enjoyed it. But growing up, I always felt different. And it was really hard to explain, and I didn't have a word for it. I didn't have a phrase, and I just thought maybe I was a bit weird, maybe I was a bit of a geek.
Oh.
I never really fit into friendship groups. Like, I wasn't the complete weirdo, stereotype kid that sits on their own, but I just was in and out of friendship groups. And I really struggled, and going into sort of secondary school was where things really changed for me. So I really struggled again with the friendship groups, and it was then that I started to find food was a coping mechanism. Okay. So when you get your own pocket money as a kid, and 20p, you go get a Freddo, and I started to make more autonomous decisions around food. So sometimes my mum would be like, cook your own tea when you get in. And I started to find that food was something that made me feel better.
Okay.
Food was something that made me feel good. It kind of took away any sort of negative feelings that I was having. And as I kind of progressed through secondary school, those negative feelings did get worse, and I did ask for help, but it was always, you're hormonal, you're getting older, it's not depression, it's not this, and you're googling it, saying you're depressed, and I didn't know what was going on with me, and I just found more and more that food started to help. And it went from a bit of chocolate here and there to I would find whatever money I could. I just remember scraping coins out the bottom of my bag just to go and buy like a bag of cookies from Asda, and I'd eat the whole thing.
Right, okay.
I remember hiding food. Like, I'd sneak downstairs, put like things under my top and run upstairs with it. It became a way of coping. And so I did start to gain weight. And at first I wasn't bothered by it. It was fine. But as I started to get a little bit older, so 15, 16, you start to become more aware of your body and boys and all that stuff. And I didn't feel great. And when I was 15 going on 16, so when you've got that like gap between finishing year 11 and sixth form college, and you've got that weird no man's land.
Like, what's next sort of thing.
I mean, I really wanted a job, but because you had to be 18, 16, 18? No, 16.
Yeah, you can, but then you are quite limited on what you can do at 16, aren't you?
Well, I think because I was because I was a July birthday, I couldn't even apply for jobs. So I was
wow,
what do I do in this time? What do I do with my life?
You haven't got your national insurance card yet. You can't do anything.
So my nana was like, right, well, why don't you come to the gym with me? I can get you like a young person's membership or whatever, and we'll go swimming just so you've got a hobby, a project. And I was like, yeah, cool. And so I thought, right, well, let's tie this into getting a bit fitter, a bit healthier, lose a bit of weight. And I had no knowledge of weight loss at that point. All I'd ever seen was my mum doing diets after diets. So I thought, you do a diet, you do Slimming World or Slim Fast or whatever it is. So I started Slim Fast. Have you ever tried that? It's really horrible.
Is that the one where they have the shakes?
Yes, you have like 2 shakes a day and then 1 meal, and yeah, it didn't work great, put it that way. But I was like, right, I'm going to start to take things seriously. And it was the first time someone had ever told me my weight, because when I started the gym, they did like a health MOT, and I told me you're X amount of stone. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I like that number. And it was because back then it was, do you remember like the magazines of like, where it would like shame celebrity bodies, and it'd be like, Victoria Beckham has gone from a size 6 to an 8. Oh my God. And it made it out like numbers were bad, and they demonized really anything over like 10 stone, which when I look now, I'm like, wow, that's like awful, isn't it? Like anything over a size 10 is big. And so I think when I heard that number, I think it's like 10.5 stone at the time, I was like, oh, it needs to be less than that. And oh, I'm a size 12 and all these bodies are a 6 and an 8, so I need to change that. So I started to track things like looking at my weight, and over time it started to become quite obsessive. It went from, I'm just weighing myself and eating a bit healthier, and it was just, what can I do to, and I didn't understand calories, I didn't understand energy balance, so it was just move my body more and eat less, and it became more and more restrictive. And it's took a bit of a dark turn in the sort of the September. So I'd gone back to a dance class because I wanted to get back more into my dance. I went to a typical dance school where all very petite girls, and I wasn't huge, but we were doing this dance show and we got told what our costumes were. And I just had this kind of like shit moment where I thought, I'm going to be the biggest girl on that stage. And I wasn't big. I was like size 10, 12. And I was like, I need to lose weight quick.
Yeah.
I need to lose weight quickly. And so then it's turned to quite dark coping behaviours, like making myself sick and things like that. And my parents caught it out, and they were like, no, please don't do this. We'll help you. We'll support you. And I was like, yeah, I won't. But it just was such an addictive feeling of seeing the scales go down quick and it working quick, because I didn't know what else to do. And so over the months, it just got more and more restrictive and more intense. And I lost weight really quickly. So from like sort of 10.5 stone around sort of July, August, by the March it was like 7 something. So I'd gone from like a size 10, 12 to a 4, 6.
Wow, okay.
And I didn't realise I had a problem. I mean, looking back, I was so unwell. Like, I was tired all the time. I was dizzy. And it was like really, I look back now, like really, disordered behaviours of like, I remember like literally getting the bus to a supermarket just to walk around the supermarket and look at food. Like, it was weird behaviours.
But this is where hindsight becomes a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because what you know now and things.
Yeah, and when you're in the thick of it as well, like, it's like with any sort of like addiction or issue, when people are in the thick of it, they don't necessarily see they have a problem because that's their world.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember not even thinking I'm, lean enough or small enough. And it was at my brother's birthday where like my family were like, right, we need some help. So we went for an Italian, and I'd ordered this meal and I didn't really like it. And so my auntie was like, oh, it's okay, have some of my pizza. And I'd like scraped all the cheese off it because cheese was bad. It was birthday cake, didn't have any. And I am like the sweet treat girly. Like, I've always liked my cake, and so everyone's like, right.
Love a piece of cake.
Oh, yeah. What's your favourite? What's your go-to cake?
My go-to cake. Oh.
If you had like death row meal, you've got 1 slice of cake left.
I've got to say, I love a chocolate cake. I love a chocolate cake, a chocolate fudge cake, or the Matilda cakes and stuff.
I've never had one of those, but I feel like I need to.
Honestly, just try it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So good. As a sweet treat,
Yeah.
of course. Like, as a sweet treat.
What about carrot cake? Do you like carrot cake?
Carrot cake, it's not my favourite. I love an old fashioned like sponge. My favourite pudding is a jam roly poly.
Oh yeah.
Love a jam roly poly. Plenty of custard.
Oh yeah. How it's done. So, and that was I love my cake, so I think everyone was like, what's going on here? And I just remember then my family pulling me up and going like, what's wrong? And I was like, nothing. And genuinely in that moment, I thought there was nothing wrong. I thought this is just teenage dieting. It's what teenagers do. We diet, we lose weight, we go. And they took me to the doctors, and I was just like, what's going on? Like there's nothing wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
They weighed me, and then they were like, yes, so we're going to throw her on these antidepressants and this, that, and the other. And obviously they were trying to get me to eat more, and I wasn't. I was like, no. And I didn't realise I had a problem. And then they took me eventually to mental health services, and it was then that they said, you've got anorexia. And I remember hearing that thinking, oh my God, like how dramatic. Like, I don't have anorexia. I don't look like these girls have anorexia. And it was quite ironic that, it's not funny, but I look back now and we laugh about it, that I was in this mental health service and they were saying you've got anorexia, and they're like going to my past. I was like, I've got nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. I'm eating. And I fainted because I was so like, underfueled.
Yeah.
I was like, you're not okay, Lucy. And it was quite a dark time in my life, like recovering, because something that's really frustrating about the eating disorder services, it's something that I do want to change, is that they kind of look at you of how physically unwell you are. So because I was underweight, but not like, so underweight that it was unhealthy.
Yeah.
There was no like hospital support or anything like that. So it almost wasn't taken that seriously.
Like brushed under the carpet sort of thing.
Yeah,
It's
like I still had the mental health support, but like I had she won't mind me saying, my sister suffered really badly as well, and she got very underweight, in and out of hospital, and she probably got more support because she was, closer to death, putting it bluntly. And I really did struggle, and I lived in a household that was busy. I've got 2 brothers and a sister, and I was the oldest, so there's younger kids that they need to look after. So it was a really hard time. And so eventually I ended up moving in with my nana for a bit, where I could just have some one-on-one support. And honestly, she completely helped, because she could just be patient with me and calm and give me time. And like, she picked me up from school, so I wasn't in school a lot. And, she really helped me recover, really helped me. And so over the year, we worked together, and, we got better, and it was great, got discharged. And I then feel like I was starting to, live my life again. I was, 17 and, enjoying going to the parties and all that good stuff, and it was all good. Got into uni, smashed my A-levels. Like, it felt like everything was taking a really nice, positive turn, which was amazing. And then in the July of my 18th, very out of the blue, my nana passed away. Got sepsis, within like a week was dead. It was one of those just no one saw it coming. And I got told the morning of my girl's holiday, so I have this memory of my parents walking into my room, and my thought was, holy shit, I've missed my flight. Like I've slept in. And they just said, look, this is it. Do you want to go? We think you should go. There's nothing you can do. But I went and had a great time. So obviously that kind of threw everything off course. Mm-hmm. And then I went to uni, and I moved and tried to do the whole, uni experience. Yeah. And I just wasn't having this experience that everyone says it was. Everyone's like, it's wild partying and it's amazing and you make all these friends for life and everyone in your hall is your best mate. I didn't feel that. I didn't really enjoy the partying that much. I wouldn't say I really made friends. I wasn't enjoying it.
I found it's very forced at the start, isn't it?
Yeah, and now knowing what I know about being neurodivergent and like liking routine and finding like small talk awkward, it was just so much going on, so much change, and I don't like change. And so I wasn't enjoying it, and I think I almost felt bad, like I should be living my best life, and all my friends that have gone to uni are posting that they're living their best life, and I don't feel like that. So what happened? Food became comfort again. It became something I could control and comfort, and you're in control of your own money, lots of takeaways. I worked in fast food at the time, a part-time job in KFC.
Perfect.
Worked there for 4 years, so obviously you're getting all the free food there. And so again, I'd gone from an anorexic, very lean, small body, gained weight very quickly again. And it was like I was aware of it, but there was nothing I could do, and I'd kind of like suppressed it, and then I kind of had these thoughts of, I'm really uncomfortable and really unhappy. And I wasn't fit. Like, I stopped dancing because I'd gone to uni. I tried to get into the gym. Just couldn't get on board with it. Mm-hmm. So I said to myself, right, when I finish uni, because again, you kind of finish in like May, don't you? And then you've got a long gap. And
got loads of time to do whatever you want, sort of thing.
I said, right, I'm going to work loads, make loads of money, and I'm going to use that to pay for a PT. I'm going to do this properly. So I did loads of research, and I thought, I'm going to find a PT who's maybe understood like eating disorders, because I want to do this right. I don't want to get unwell again. I've promised my family, made this promise to myself.
Complete change of mindset.
Yeah, I was like, I need to do this right. So I got with this PT, and I remember she told me how much she was going to charge, and at the time I was like, sorry, how much is this going to cost me? But I need to do it. I'll work extra. I'll do what I need to do. And I remember telling my parents, and they were like, oh, this is a rip-off. Don't do this. And I was like, no, I'm going to do it. So something's telling me that this is the right move, and it changed everything. I fell in love with the gym. I loved weight training. I found something that I really enjoyed. I just couldn't stop. I loved it. She kind of gave me a meal plan structure, and at the time I look back, maybe it was a bit restrictive, but I was eating. I was losing weight whilst eating. I was still eating out with family, and my body started to change. My confidence started to change, and I just felt like I'd found something. I fell in love, and I was so happy, and I don't know what I wanted to do at uni. Like, I feel like people are forced into uni. Oh, you're smart, you've got a brain cell, go to uni. So I was like, right, I'll go to uni, but I didn't have a clue. I didn't have a clue where I was going or what I was doing. And then I just had these like light bulb moments. Then like, you know, people see your body change. Like, oh, what are you doing at gym, Lucy? Come show me. And I really enjoyed like taking my brother to the gym and my friends. And I thought, maybe this is what I should do. Maybe I should become a PT. And my parents were like, oh, are you sure? You know, do you not want like a nice graduate job? You're really smart. I was like, no, I want to be a PT. And they were like, okay. So literally the second that I'd finished uni, I'd sign up to a course. I was straight in. And I think they genuinely thought it would be like she'll try this, realise she won't make much money from it, and then she'll, you know,
Go get a proper job.
Yeah. So I literally straight away did the course. So I was qualified by sort of the end of that year. And I then started to look for jobs, and I found, it was actually quite nice, I found a job in the gym where I trained with my PT.
Mm.
And they gave me a really good deal. It was like, you know, you can actually get some paid work on reception, so you don't lose anything while you're building your clientele. And I thought, oh, this is meant to be. This is meant to be. I can at least make some money whilst I'm building my business. So I got qualified in January. March of that year was lockdown.
Oh, don't even get me started
so
on that.
So just as I started to pick up some momentum, you know, I'd started to do this boot camp. I was like, this is a great way to build some exposure.
Yeah.
Lockdown. And to be honest, it wasn't too bad in the respect of I got lucky because I had that employed job. I got a furlough, so it was enough to pay for my car, and I was living at home at the time, so it were all good. But more than anything, we're going to be bored. I was like, I need a project. I need something to do. So the gym gave me a bit of work, and I started to build the online coaching side of it. And it was not a money-making thing, really. It was more just keep me busy, keep me going. And sort of as we then went on through the lockdowns, you know, in and out of lockdown, I did build my PT business up, but the online built quite quickly. Yeah. So then I made a call the following year. I'm going to go all in online because actually my passion's here, because I can get bigger transformations. You know, I got into that job to help people the way that it helped me with my confidence, my body. And I found with the PT clients, they want to come and do your hour session and then they go home and that's it.
Yeah, it's like tick a box.
Yeah, and as fun as it is, you know, pushing someone through a hard session and, you know, you have a good chin wag and a chat, and it kind of just felt like I'm having a catch up with a mate and shouting at them to do some reps. Like, you know, I was.
What are you having for tea? Come on, push.
Yeah, how many more reps? You know, I just felt there's more to me and what I can do. So I ended up leaving PT, went all in online in 2021. And then, went all in online in October 2021. And from there, it went a bit crazy and grew. And I was following sort of mentoring advice of like take on a team. So I ended up building a team of coaches and it was growing. It was epic, right? On the surface. And it was sort of like general weight loss transformations. And don't get me wrong, I had some amazing times running things that way with the team I had and the clients and the experiences I was having, like going to business events in Dubai. It was absolutely incredible. But during that time of my own fitness journey, as you kind of do when you become a coach, you're like, I need to look the part. And I'd fallen into sort of the bodybuilding scene. And again, putting my body through these extremes. But I was like, it's fine because it's, you know, it's doing it in a healthy way, but it wasn't at all. It was pushing my body through extreme diets and getting, you know, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I realised after one of my first diets that I'd done, I'd come off contraception because that was one of the things that had happened to me during like being poorly with the, so I'd lost my periods, gone on like contraception and came off it. And I was like, I've not had a period in a long time. So I went to the doctors about it and realised basically my hormones were royally, just to put it politely. Yeah. And they'd done like scans and my bone density was really low because of the lack of hormones. And I kept then having this inner battle of like, I really know I need to work on this, that I've kind of been masking my issues with food by saying it's healthy, by following these really structured regimes, but it isn't. And I knew that. And I just kept having these inner battles with myself. And then I just got to a point in 2022, I can't work out when it was. I think in 2023, I just need to sort myself out. I need to get my health on track. Yeah. You know, I'm not getting any younger. If I want kids, you know, you can't. And I don't know what it was, but I had this light bulb moment, right, I need to sort myself out. So I left my coach at the time and got a relationship with food coach because I knew I had issues still.
It seems like from what you've just said, it's going in a circular motion, isn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Like you're going, you see a problem, you try and fix it in the best way you know how. And then once you try to fix it, something else let's lie, and
Yeah.
it's like a trade-off sort
Yeah.
of thing.
The difference is this was more of a trap though, because when you've got like an eating disorder, obviously everyone's looking at you going, oh my God, you're so unwell, let's get you help, let's get you support. Like, it's negative feedback. No one's like really positively reinforcing it. When it's with bodybuilding and you're going and doing a photo shoot and you've got a six-pack, everyone's like, oh my God, you look amazing. So it was like every time I was dieting down, I was getting positive reinforcement, which wasn't helping. Like your social media gets more engagement, you get more inquiries. Boys were showing interest in me. So actually, it was a trap, because every time I was doing that, not only was it making the relationship with food worse, I was getting positive reinforcement. Whereas at least in some ways, when I was getting ill, it was like, you need help, let's get you help. Whereas everyone's like, oh my God, you're amazing, I want to look like you. And it was so hard to let go of that. And I knew, knowing what I know about regaining your hormonal health and your relationship with food, I was going to have to gain weight again.
Right.
And I was terrified, because it was like, all this good stuff happens when I'm leaner. But I just knew I needed to do it. So I kind of just went all in with it and got a relationship with food coach, and she was amazing. She was absolutely amazing. She completely changed my life.
Would you say that was the turning point?
Yes. And during that process as well was where the ADHD conversation came in. Because I never even considered having the fact that I have ADHD. It was the naughty boys illness.
Yes.
You think ADHD, it's the classic 10-year-old running around, causing chaos. That was what I always knew. And that's what my mum's a teacher, and she always used to say, ADHD boys and stuff. So I never even crossed my mind. And a few of the girls that I worked with at the time, when I had the team of coaches, they used to make jokes, like, it's so ADHD of you, Lucy. And then I remember saying it to my coach at the time, and she went, well, obviously I can't diagnose you, and obviously it's not within my scope of practice, but you do tick quite a few of the boxes. And again, it was like this kind of like light bulb. I was like, oh, interesting. And so I do what you do. You research it, you Google it. And it was just like, the only way I can describe it is just like the lights turn. I was like, oh my God, I resonate. Oh my God, I resonate. Oh my God, that makes sense. And I looked at how do I go about finding out about this? And I saw the NHS wait lists, which were nothing like they are now. I mean, they're horrendous now, but even then it was like 2 years. I can't wait 2 years. I need to know now.
Yes.
I need to know right at this second.
Absolutely.
So again, private diagnosis back then was much more accessible. Like, now you're looking at thousands. It's crazy. I think it was about £400 or £500, and I was obviously fortunate that I had that money. So I paid for a private diagnosis, and yeah, that January, on that call, it was, Lucy, you've got combined ADHD. And it was one of those, it's a really hard feeling to describe unless you've been through it. It was this like, I think I described it as like almost being like told your dog's died and you've won £1 million at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It was like oh my God, thank you. That explains so much in my life, like the mental health struggles that I had growing up, the food side of it, everything. But also, I've just been through like 20 odd years of like struggles that I didn't need to have.
Yeah, literally, if this would have helped, this would have helped me way back in your schooling.
School, eating, friendships, everything. And someone coined the term re-grief. It's like relief and grief at the same time, and I think that's the most beautiful way of describing it. And I just thought, well, I'm going to speak about this because it's going to help. And quite a few of my clients had ADHD, and people were like resonating and stuff. And then just over time, the more I've spoken about it, the more people were like, I really resonate with your content, and it's really nice that you're speaking about it. And so last year, I kind of just had a bit of a light bulb moment, and what if I made my business centered around this? Because the more that I was talking about it, the more I realized that so many women who are stuck in these traps with food, whether it's restriction, whether it's binge eating, body image, it's linked. It's not caused by ADHD, but that's a big piece of the puzzle. And until you understand that, because for me, understanding it and working through it was what's got me to a place where I am now, where it's balanced, it's healthy, it's in a really good mental place. And so I just kind of had this, shower idea. What if I did that? And it's quite a scary thought, because it means completely restructuring this business that I've built with a team of coaches, and knowing that I can get clients. And I don't know, it just felt right.
It's like walking off a cliff edge in a sense, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was like, I kind of have this gut feeling that it will work and it'll be fine. But what if it doesn't? And this as well, is I was having these thoughts as I was in the process of getting my first mortgage sorted as well.
Oh wow, okay.
So it was like, is this the right time? I don't know, because I remember telling my parents. My mum was like, do you want to just get your house settled first? And I was like, well, I've got this much savings, so I could probably make no money for a few months and be all right, and then we'll figure it out. And I could get a job at McDonald's for a few weeks if I need to. We'll figure it out. And I just had this it feels right feeling. So I went all in I think September last year, and just restructured it. And it's been the best thing I've ever done. It has been the best thing I've ever done.
Complete change of business.
Well, I guess it's very similar in the respect of it's still fitness coaching, and a lot of the systems and stuff are the same, but it's what I talk about on social media, the people that I help. But it has been amazing. Like, my social media's blown up. Like, my following isn't everything, but it just keeps growing.
Yeah.
I'm helping people. Like, people are just coming to me saying, like, I see your content, and it's, even if they're not signing up, they're just saying thank you. It's so helpful. It's making me feel validated. And, it kind of feels like when I go right back to why I got into coaching, I want to help people. I want people to have this transformation. That's what it feels like we're doing now. So it kind of finally feels like without sounding really cringy, I found my purpose. I found my calling.
Do it, honestly.
I found what I'm meant to do. And I think now, like, really understanding, because obviously the more I've researched it, the links between ADHD and, like, struggles with food on the smaller scale of, I say smaller scale, it's still impactful, but like yo-yo dieting. And then the bigger scales, like, myself, like anorexia, binge eating, these big struggles. I'm now, like, on a mission to really make a bigger impact societally, like educating people of why they struggle with food. I really want to get, into the NHS and into the governments and make them put more money into researching and funding this, because there are such big links that aren't talked about. And I think if people could understand it more, rather than just judging, everyone's got ADHD, actually showing some compassion and understanding, we could really help people to not have these battles and struggles, which, it takes lives. It doesn't just ruin people's lives and confidence. These things do take people's lives, unfortunately.
So I want to dig down a little bit on that,
sure.
on the link and stuff, because I've had a look at your socials and things before we had a chat. It's really refreshing what you're putting out there. I'm not gonna lie, like the fact that you just and the fact that your personality comes through in the videos as well. But what I want to talk about, this link from what I'm getting is a mental side of things and the physical side of things. Like, a bit of a backstory on me. I've yo-yoed all the way through, like, and I think at one point I was nearly, 155 kilos I was. And I dropped down to 105, and I'm now at about 110, 112, which is happy weight.
Yeah.
It's lovely. But I've really resonated with a lot of stuff you were saying there about the eating, and I used to go and open the fridge and just look in the fridge and things like that. So to the point of, I want to dig down a little bit on what you see the linkage is, and what would you want to push the government to actually put in place for it? What would you see being not a solution, because I don't think there will be, but mechanisms that you can put in place to actually.
Sure. I think the biggest thing is education and understanding, because what I always describe to clients is the reason that you've struggled and the reason these diets and stuff haven't worked for you and these approaches haven't worked for you, because most of the people that come to me, unlike myself, when I didn't understand, like, what I should be eating, I think most people now generally do. I think there's a lot more education with social media, and you can Google things and ChatGPT this. People understand to eat more protein, calorie deficit. People do kind of get that now. But people are like, why can't I stick to it? And I always describe it as you're trying to fit a square into a circle. It's a mismatch. There's a lot of the ways of, like, the typical approaches to dieting and weight loss that don't work for a neurodivergent brain, or don't tackle the actual issue, right? So you need to be in a calorie deficit, but you're not sticking to it because you're not meeting your dopamine levels. So dopamine's a big one. It's the dopamine regulation. So with ADHD, you've got a slight dopamine deficiency. You're craving dopamine more. And if we think about the way society is right now, like, we're craving dopamine more than ever. Quick fixes. Everything's quick.
Yeah.
And the world's stressful, right? Like, life is hard. Life is stressful. So many people constantly live in a state of depleted dopamine from lack of sleep, not moving enough, stressful jobs, stressful careers. So people are dopamine seeking more than ever, right? And think about how easy and accessible food is more than ever.
Oh, go on your phone. It's here in half an hour.
Go on your phone, go to the shop. Like, high dopamine food is so easy to access. So what kind of happens is then you create this relationship with, I need a dopamine top up, big time, because life is stressful, hard, and people aren't regulating it.
Mm-hmm.
I've now learnt that food does that, and that's where usually you see these patterns of they can be good all day because they're just so busy, and then actually they realise the dopamine's so low from stress, work, kids, and food. It's why then the weekend, when you've actually got some chill time, some downtime, it's why you can, open a pack of biscuits and then the whole sleeve's gone because it's just so much dopamine. So regulating dopamine is a big one, and I think educating people on how to do that is a big one. Another thing is understanding like the executive dysfunction side of ADHD. So it's like the decision making, like what do I want? Oh, I can't think about that. Impulsivity. So there isn't like one magic solution, and I think on like a government level there isn't like something they could do. But what I would love to see more on is like the education side of things. And I think if we go like, where does education start? It starts younger. Really educating kids on like, because I see now kids are less active, and it's really worrying. Like when we were kids, like play out the street and
get on the football pitch.
Like, what did you want to do when you got home from school? You wanted to go play with your mates, didn't you? And like
go down at courts, kick a football about.
Yeah, I used to love running around the garden with my brother and sister and all that good stuff. Kids don't anymore. Kids just want like, parents are feeding, and I don't want to say it's the parents' fault, but we're not educating people on like the value of eating well and moving, but not just from it's very much like, eat well, play, healthy heart. But actually, what does it do for your mood? What does it do for your dopamine levels? Mm-hmm. Sleep, like all of these things, I'd love to see like educated more. Because if you can bring it from the ground up and educate people on these things, that's going to make a massive difference. So I think it does start in terms of like the prevention cure side of it, from the ground up of educating people. But also like it is going into the importance of it. Like I think no one's really excited by, eat healthy 5 a day. No one's like, I'm excited by that. But if you can be like, right, if you eat these healthy foods, it makes you focus better. It makes your mood better. Like, I don't think that's spoken about enough.
Yeah, and I want to touch on the point of like how times have changed with things, especially with kids and stuff. Because all you see now is kids on iPads
and phones,
phones and Switch and stuff like that. Like even within that sort of setting, is there a way of getting a little bit more active on that sort of way, do you reckon?
I'd love to see. I think it's attitude change in a society, though. I think it is. I think it's societal attitudes, isn't it? Like no one. Like, we all did, didn't we? You were the weird one. If you think back, if you think how the roles are reversed, right? The weird kid that sat on the computer was the little weirdo, weren't they, in the class, right? They were. Like if they were playing football or playing on the street, they were like, too busy on the computer. They were the little weird nerdy kid, right? Whereas now it's like if you want to go out and play, like you're the only person that does.
Why the heck would you want to do that?
Yeah, why are you on your iPad? Why don't you have a PlayStation, And I think it's hard. Like, I know a lot of parents want their kids to be active, but then their kids are then bullied so it's really hard. So, like, I know the government are talking a lot about the bans, aren't they, for, like internet for certain ages and stuff.
Oh, yeah, the social media and stuff.
Yeah, and I think they just need to really crack down on that. And maybe, was it James Smith or there was a big influencer that was saying it was Matt Does Fitness. He was saying like I'd rather my kid was, doing more sport or something than pass their exam, something like that. But doing more in schools, like if they're not going to do it at home, bring more physical education into schools and really teach them about it's not just playing football, it's not just playing basketball or hockey. It's we're doing this because that's what you did in school. We're just playing a sport. We're learning a skill, playing a sport, but teach me that this is going to help your mental health. This is going to help on this. Like, why are we doing it? And then the same with nutrition as well. Like, teaching people how to eat well easily. I think that's a big one because with one of the things that I teach my neurodivergent clients, some of them like cooking, some of them like me and hate it, right? So I used to think it was either I'm having a takeaway or I shove in the oven pizza, or it's like I've got to spend ages in the kitchen making this.
Prepping.
Whereas there is a middle ground. Like, everything I make is quick, easy, in, out the air fryer, done. Still lots of protein, still plenty of fruit and veg, but it's in and out because I can't do it. But in school and food tech and stuff, it's like if you want to eat healthy, you've got to cook from scratch and chop all these onions. So if you're neurodivergent and like, I can do that in the lesson, but I didn't want to do it in my free time.
No, you've got 100 other things you want to do.
So can we start to teach people that convenience can be healthy? Can we create, showing all these things? I think a lot of it is education.
Yeah, because when you look at it as well, you can get a pizza for £1.
Cost as well. Yeah.
Cost, absolutely. Like all we keep hearing is cost of living
Cost of
crisis
living
and
crisis,
and everything. It's like, oh well, how am I meant to do this and still look after like a home, still look after, like, still go to work, still do all this.
Yeah.
I ain't got enough hours in a day. So how do I structure this?
Yeah.
Especially when you add a layer of, when you've got ADHD and things, it's like, and your mind's working a
100%.
million miles a minute. How are you meant to?
Yeah.
How are you meant to like schedule all them things in?
Yeah, so I'd love to see that. I'd love to see more, like, even like chefs online, like talking about how you can eat well really quick and easy, because that's what, like, that's like my speciality. If you want the fitness coach who's doing the fancy recipes, it ain't me.
Mm-hmm.
I try to do it, couldn't do it. Like, the amount of time to set up your camera and the ingredients, and like, it's too much. Like, I just want really simple things. I think that will be a really good thing we could show people.
Mm-hmm.
That would be amazing.
So when you're onboarding someone,
Yep.
what are the questions that are always coming up in the onboarding process that you just think, I need to help these people?
The biggest thing that I see is this constant frustration. So there's, people might not like me for saying this, but I do think there's two kinds of people that get diagnosed with ADHD or have like a condition. It's the people that sit in the struggle, and there's the people that go, I'm going to do something about it. I know I've got something wrong with me. I know that I'm different, but I'm going to do something about it. And those are the people that I want to work with, right? Like myself goes, right, I accept I'm different, but what can I do to better my life? Like, sounds really bad, but I've got no time for victim mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You've got one shot at life, go and do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
I always compare it to like Paralympic athletes, right? People have got no legs and they're doing marathons. I'm sorry, like, you can do whatever you set your mind to.
What's your excuse?
Exactly. Like when I ran Paris half marathon the other week, and a few kilometres in, feeling a bit tired, and there was this lady in front of me, and she had this sign on that said like partially blind or something, just give me space or something, on a t-shirt. And I went past her, and she must have been about 80, and I just thought, wow.
Fair
It is
play.
mindset, it's your self-talk. So yeah, the people that want to do something about it. So the people that come to me, they're usually really driven. They're usually really ambitious people. They've got so much drive, so much fire, and they just have this frustration of, I know what to do, and I'm trying, but I just can't do it. And I think that for me that's why, like, I've created a program which is more educational rather than just, here's a training plan, here's some calories. Like, Google that. You know, like, this program is all about actually educating you on why this hasn't worked for you. Here's what you do instead. Here's why that hasn't worked for you. Do this instead, because I want people to realise it isn't them. You know, you're not, you know, I've had a girl just join up with me. She's an actress. And she was like, I've got no discipline. I was like, you do.
You're an actress.
You're an actress. You've gone to performing arts school. You got discipline, girl. Right? So people to start to internalise these narratives of like, I'm not disciplined. I'm not this. But it's not. It's that. It's like you trying to run a piece of software. It's like trying to run a piece of software for Canon on that Sony. It's never gonna work.
It's not gonna happen.
So that's the thing that I really want to get in people, because when you actually realise I'm not the problem, not only can you lose weight or get fitter, but it does change your inner self-talk. It does change your confidence, and that's life-changing for careers, relationships, but also just how you live day to day. Like, I live a completely different life now, not just from the health and fitness side, but I used to be so negative and so in my own head and didn't think I could do anything with my life and didn't feel very confident in myself. And it has transformed me having that self-compassion that actually I wasn't the issue. It was just all these, I wasn't working with my brain. I wasn't doing it the right way. And so that transformation for me, like, I do genuinely now think I can do whatever I want to do. As long as I've got the right tools, the systems, the guidance, there isn't a limit on what I can achieve in my life. And that's only come from self-acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want to give people. It's, I want to get you losing weight and feeling good in your body. Yeah, I want to get you fitter. Yeah, I want to get you healthier. But if you can actually finally ditch that narrative of, I've got no discipline, I've got no willpower, I'm not good enough, I can't do it, it will transform your life.
So would you say you put a lot of weighting on being self-aware?
Oh, 100%. Self-awareness and really understanding yourself is everything, because any other approach will just be like, here's your and it will work temporarily, but if you don't understand what's actually going on for you and why, you'll never see it through. So you need to understand your own inner narratives, your own stories, your own, because everyone's, manifestations as well are different. Like, some people are more impulsive, some people struggle more with prioritization and planning. Like, I've got some clients that struggle, if you have the time blindness side of it, where they don't, it's a symptom of neurodivergence where you kind of don't really have a concept of time.
Okay. Oh, so you like lock in and then all of a sudden 3 hours have gone.
Yeah, I don't struggle with that too much, but I always start off way earlier. So I always here like 20 minutes early because that's something I struggle with. But one of my clients, she really struggles with it. Like, she genuinely will completely lose track of time. So like for her, we've had to really work on that. Whereas other coaches, like, how do you not know it's like midnight? She just doesn't. She just completely loses it. So it's your own self-awareness of what you struggle with as well.
Okay, so with that in mind, and thinking about your own journey, when you got the diagnosis, with what you know now, do you see that as a turning point?
I definitely say it was one of the biggest turning points in my life. Like, people say an ADHD diagnosis is life-changing, and I would say it is. Like, if I'd not understood why I was struggling with the things I was struggling with, I don't think I'd be where I am now, because I had to understand all the pieces, because it always felt like there was a reason why I can't just work on fixing things. Like, why am I still in these cycles? I understand it's not like the understanding, I just couldn't do it. But it was like, I understand now I'm constantly dopamine seeking. I understand that I didn't like who I was, and I felt so out of control and weird and different, and food was something I could control. But then I understood, but that's why I struggle with that. That's why I find these things hard. And it just brought so much self-compassion, and that changed everything. Was no longer being so in my own head about things. Understanding, like, I was also like, you're really sensitive, Lucy. Why are you so sensitive? Why are you so emotional? And now I understand it. So it brings so much self-compassion. I do think it is life-changing for people, and this is why when there's this like narrative at the moment of everyone's got it, it's no. It's not everyone doesn't have it. It's that all these people weren't diagnosed because they didn't understand the criteria. We now understand the criteria, and the problem we're now seeing is I'm so far on the other side that I don't care what people have to say. Like, if you want to tell me it doesn't exist, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Whatever, Trevor. But people who are newer diagnosed now have this battle of, they want to validate themselves, but then everyone around's going, everyone's got ADHD, it's not a real thing, everyone's just attention seeking. So then they're almost like questioning their own diagnosis. And that creates more inner battles. And that's something I'm really sort of fighting against, which is why I'm putting these posts out. And, the comments go wild. If you want to laugh, go and look at one I put the other day. Like, the comments are insane. People are, no one has ADHD, you're all liars. But I really want to help people who are going through that process. Just validate yourself, because it will change everything, accepting who you are and actually why you are the way you are. And I just think at the end of the day, like, do you know what? I think the narrative needs to change, right? If everyone does have ADHD, then it's like, well, actually, then we have got a problem that if 50% of the population do have ADHD, then things need to change societally.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not a case of like, it's trendy. It's like, but actually, if the numbers are higher, then we need to do something about that. That should be the argument, right?
But then, like you say, with the waiting lists and things like that being state they are, then that might be the case. Like, there might be a lot more people neurodiverse than we actually know, and just going about their lives just thinking they're different. Yeah.
And broken and weird and struggling with things that they shouldn't be struggling with. So then it is a society. And I just think, well, look, maybe I think it feels bigger than it is, because there's so many people that like have been, missed generations. So people in like their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, there's a lot of people that were missed. But then my argument is, well, actually, let's just say it is 50%. Then it's like, right, what do we need to do about that then, right? Because do we need to look at maybe, if something is causing it, do we need to work on that? If it is just that's the way brains are developing, what do we need to change in society? So I think it's the argument of everyone's got it, it's like, well, but if we do, what are we going to do about it? What are we actually going to do about it? That should be the argument, surely.
No, absolutely. And that should be where the investment's going as well, to make sure that the world is being shaped in a way that's going to make people's lives better.
100%.
Like, yeah, I've never actually thought of it that way.
Yeah. So where my brain goes, so I'm like trying to think, well, if that is the case, then that's what we should be doing. And it does, I think it's one of those things where I just wonder, like, when people get so passionate about, you're all just making it up. I'm like, it doesn't impact your life in any way, shape, or form. Why are you so bothered?
Yeah.
Like, why? Well, people on Facebook and got nothing better to do with their lives, right?
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, it's all. I love it. I'm like, look, you're giving me engagement. My post's going viral now, honey. So keep giving me the hate. Like,
keep it coming. More people are going to see it.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But the one that gets on my nerves is when people are like, you're attention seeking. You just want to be different. Like, no one wants to be different.
No.
Like, I actually didn't tell people for a bit when I got the diagnosis. In fact, I forgot that I hadn't told my parents because I was really nervous to tell them. They found out through social media posts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I put it on social media before I told them.
Oh, wow.
And no one wants to be different. And I'm like, all people want is an explanation for why they feel the way they do. And you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm like, it doesn't matter if it's ADHD or autism or depression or anxiety. People just want to understand why they feel the way they do and what the hell is wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. No, there's no wrong with that. Absolutely not. I'm learning so much. I'm not going to lie.
I'm glad.
I'm learning so much.
I'm glad to a science lesson.
But yeah, so like I said, let's talk about now. What's the mission now?
Yeah. I mean, I am on a mission with it, and that was the thing when I made the change. Like, it's not just going to be, I'm just a fitness coach who now does ADHD. I want to make a difference on a bigger scale. So this is why I'm creating programs that are like a bit more educational as well as practical. And, so the idea is I get as many people to do that as possible, not from like, obviously financial side of it, awesome, but more, I know that every person that goes through that course is going to have a change of mindset, which is going to help their health and their fitness. And it's kind of like a double-edged sword of, health and fitness is so important, and it's so many people who are neurodiverse struggle with it. But actually being healthier and fitter in your habits and behaviours does actually support your neurodivergent brain. That's the thing I teach. Like, if you eat well and more regularly, it helps your symptoms. If you exercise and it helps your mood, it actually helps with a lot of the struggles that you have. So I really want people to go through it. And I know as well that if a mum goes through it and her kid's neurodivergent, she can pass that information on to her kids. So the mission is, if I can help people with these programs, it's going to have a domino effect. But then, I want to do things on a bigger scale, because as much as I love working with people one-to-one and in these groups, there's only one of me, you know? And I refuse to be that person that just will help, thousands of people, don't really do anything personal, or, gets people to pretend they're them in their programs. That's not me. So the goal is I really want to get onto bigger platforms. Like, I don't have any inclination to be famous. I quite like my little private life. So, I want to be able to walk down the street, but I want a book one day.
Okay.
I want to maybe speak on like bigger podcasts, bigger stages, because I just want people to learn this stuff. It's all about numbers for me. And again, if you teach one person one thing, they can tell their friend. And so like things like the books and the bigger podcasts and the biggest, that's why we can have that domino effect. And that's the mission now, is before I retire, whatever age that is, I can instill this information, because being healthier and fitter isn't just important from like your lifespan and all this, but it really does make a difference to how you live your life with ADHD. Like, when I don't exercise, you know about it. Like, my mood takes a dip. I become really irritable. Like, if I've had like a few days off the gym, like when I've had like a snow day, or so like even like, was it last week when I run the Paris half marathon and I was really achy, so I didn't go to the gym for 4 days. By that Thursday, I was like, even if I'm going to the gym and I'm sitting down and just doing bicep curls, I need to move my body, because I'm really aggy. If I've had like a few days of eating a bit of junk food, I don't feel good. My mood's lower, and so it just makes your life so much happier. But like I was saying, the self-compassion piece that comes with that, and the self-empowerment piece, that's what's transformative. And I'm not saying everyone who does what I say is going to become a millionaire and run their own businesses, but they're just going to be so much happier. And we get one chance at life, don't we?
Absolutely.
Without getting all deep, we get one chance at it. So I think everyone should do what is going to make them the happiest, healthiest, most thriving version. That's why I use that word thrive a lot, because I do believe that's what I help people to do, is thrive. Happy, healthy, confident. And when you've grown up, especially, whether it's 10 years, 20 years, living with that undiagnosed ADHD, feeling broken, feeling different, that is the best gift you can give yourself, because you can't change your past. You can't change all those years, but you can make the following years, however many you've got, the best they can be, and that's what I want for everyone.
Happiness and thrive.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Happiness and thriving, living your best life.
So, from all that,
yep.
If someone's watching right now,
yep.
and they've resonated with what you said about your backstory, the young diagnosis, and really wondering why the hell am I feeling this way?
Mm-hmm.
What's the biggest takeaway that you'd want them to take away from watching this?
I mean, I think you need to commit to learning about yourself and your brain. Like, I do believe we all want the quick fix. We all just want a pill or a program or one thing to change everything. And if there was that, I'd give it to people. You know, I'd be very rich from it.
Yeah.
But commit to learning. Commit to spending time. And I know we all just want everything now, but commit to understanding your own brain, whether that's through books. Like, there's some really good books that I've read, podcasts. Obviously, I've got a lot of free stuff on. So if you want to come do my programs, it's fantastic. But I put free content out. I've got my own podcast where I talk on YouTube, where I talk about individual concepts more. Really understanding yourself is the best thing you can do, because whenever I get a new client on board, a lot of the time I'll say to them, right, I know you want to dive straight into fat loss and dive straight in. We need to just understand what's going on for you first. So we'll just pick up on patterns first, and self-awareness. Like, bless one of my clients the other day, she's like, oh, I've overeaten, but this was why. I said, right, that's brilliant, because the first step for us to change this is understanding why this is happening. So self-awareness is your number one superpower. So you need to start there, but do it in a way that works for you. Like, if you don't like reading, go do podcasts.
Yeah.
If you don't like podcasts, go read, go do YouTube. Watch. If you can't hold your attention span, just commit to watching a little reel every day. Just learn, because you'll have these little light bulbs, and then that's your catalyst to then start making change.
Amazing. Lucy, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This has been amazing.
It's been so good. I've learnt so much. I feel like I've learnt a lot about myself.
Oh, that's good.
Honestly, with some of the things you've said, it's I've had my own little light bulbs in this
that makes
studio.
me happy. If no one else has had any, and no one else listens to this, at least you've had it.
Oh no, absolutely. I'm sure a lot of people get a lot of knowledge out of this.
Amazing.
But yeah, Lucy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.